What is the well? I mean, at the core, I would say the well is a community of people um, doing our best to love our neighbors. It's an organization that's kind of snowballed over time, but it's really made up of lots of excuses to build relationships between communities that don't normally spend time together. So materially poor, folks that do not experience material poverty, white, black, kind of crossing economic lines, racial lines to bring people together around common tables. Sometimes those are actual tables, sometimes they're gardens, sometimes they're wrenches or bike rides or whatever excuse we could come up with. My understanding of poverty is a lack of freedom, and that grows out of relationships that don't work like they should. So you've got food that goes wasted and people that go hungry, or houses that sit empty and people without houses. And so we want to bring those things in a healthier, more efficient relationship. So we gather food that would go wasted and get it to people that would go hungry. And then those efforts create the table where we can work together, shoulder to shoulder, build a relationship with one another, and heal the kind of poverty that is in each of us and in all of us. The well was doing a lot of the obvious things when you say like, oh, material poverty. So you got homelessness, people are hungry, they need some shoes, they need some clothes, they need some housing. But underlying a lot of those concrete needs, there's deeper issues. And we started out doing bikes, just kind of like, there we have someone that rides bikes and people are riding bikes. It's a great excuse to hang out. But what we realized was bicycles address the issue of access. And when people have access and they have freedom and can make those choices, they can meet a lot of their own more basic needs. And then the Earn a Bike program is exactly that. You don't have the transportation you need. You don't have the money to meet that need. You can apply and earn that bike through an investment in community service hours. So you basically buy it with your time. It's a lot like time banking. And so folks put in 10 hours of community service, then they get a bike, lights, lock, helmet, water bottle, safety training, lifetime membership to the co-op so they can maintain that bike, kind of everything they need to be set up as commuters, and then invited to join us on our weekly rides in our community. And some do and stick around and we know them over a long period of time, and some take that bike and pedal on to whatever it is they want to go do, because it's freedom. You can go do what you like with that bike. Our prayer is that that creates a virtuous cycle for people. They can earn their bike and then pedal that bike to meet a lot of their own needs, all of which addresses the spiritual, the psychological, the physical poverty that people experience. Any ways that are in captivity, addressing that issue of access empowers and gives freedom. We're learning that it's a more sustainable model for us as well, whereas we were, the representative panhandlers. Building social enterprise, building a business, we're learning to make some money ourselves to sustain our own program, as well as giving people an opportunity to earn to meet their own needs through putting in the work together. In some sense, we are very bad business people, right? You make bad business decisions all the time because of another value. It's something held in tension. For me, honestly, I always remembered Jesus, someone I try to follow, try to apply his teaching, said, you can't serve God and money. And daily in interactions with people, I'm like, oh God, you can't serve God and money. You got to make a decision minute by minute, day by day. But if that's the measure of success, then we're successful because we're all in on it. WellBuilt Bikes is its own company that stands independently. Then we also had Works of Mercy. Under the umbrella of Works of Mercy, there's a couple things that take place. But Kinship actually is the majority of work that's happening under that. There's 10 grocery distributions every month. And the Kinship really is a platform to bring two communities that might not otherwise interact together around a common table. And that common table is, the excuse that we use is shared groceries.
This is a different iteration of what we've been doing for 10 years. Kinship is an excuse to build relationships in the form of food. The original vision for the well included a house of hospitality that many people lived in. And this is just a different iteration of that to follow the vision and the leadership of the Catholic worker movement. It doesn't separate life and work or community and work, it's all integrated. So the kinship that we do, whether it be the free market on Monday evenings or the distribution on the weekends, it should be integrated communally into the relationships you build in the process. This kinship that we have right now, especially the free market, the main focus is that it's free and that it's a market, so there's choice. So people are able to come in here and choose their groceries. In various forms of bread lines, you're often given what they have and you take it. And this is a way to have choice and have decisions over what you give your family, and you choose what you want. One of the biggest aspects of poverty is not having choice and not having access. So to give them the ability to choose, and we give them access, it's beautiful. It takes a lot of people to do a ministry like this, and it should incorporate a lot of people. So if 1 or 2 people do it, they will burn out, and it's not even an appropriate way to serve the community. So we incorporate as many people as possible. So the teams rotate each week, but typically a team will come here, get the food, take some folding tables, and set up shop at various locations throughout Tampa. And it is a grocery style, so people get bags and they choose from fresh or frozen or canned items, and then we weigh them and then they leave. Often the healthy food is more expensive, and I think that is incredibly unfair. And I don't believe that if you have to shop at a gas station that you have a choice. Like, you may choose to go to that gas station to get food, but if you're going there, you're demographically put in that area and you don't have access to these other things. One of the primary aspects of the free market and the Kinship is that we provide fresh produce. And I think that often if people had a choice, they would choose fresh fruit over canned mandarin oranges. They would choose fresh vegetables if they knew how to use them. The fact that we're able to give that to them is huge, and they should have had it from the beginning.
Matthew 25, Jesus talks about, like, I was hungry, you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, you gave. Those are what are known as the corporal works of mercy, and then there's the spiritual works of mercy. This is a long Catholic tradition. The corporal works of mercy is feed the hungry, give drink to the thirsty, bury the dead, visit the prisoner, care for the sick. And kinship is food to the hungry as like a clear works of mercy. Our housing is shelter for the homeless, very clear. But all of it, like I've said, is an excuse for relationship. We just use those corporal works of mercy as a way to interact and learn from and encounter God and one another.